Hi there, everyone. My name is Helenique Argeru for Women of Truth. We used to call these Yin Alithia, great events that started in Cyprus. Now they're international, and we're calling them Women of Truth. Conferences, seminars, meetings, wisdom circles, and today in the circle of truth is this lovely lady called Katarzyna Bequillard. I think it's a French name that I'm really hoping to pronounce, hence my beautifully inspired French romantic type attire, and you see some beautiful roses from my man. And so we're in this romantic but really truthful atmosphere today, because we started actually this chat with Katarzyna earlier about the sixth sense and what it is to be really tuned in to a higher level of understanding and a higher level of awareness about your own life, about the truth in your life, about what you're really here to do, about what's important in life. And I want to tell you why I invited Katarzyna, because immediately speaking to her, I reconnect to this level of depth that I know I can go to with few people in the world. She's one of them because she belongs to a great group of people that I recently started doing a lot of work with over the years. And it's a group of people that are studied in what we call process work psychology. And it's an interesting method that takes you into a deeper experience of the realm beyond your conscious mind, so into the unconscious realms. She's going to tell us her version. Very excited that she will share about her sixth sense, about how she was as a child. She's actually a certified coach at the moment, a mediator and a facilitator that actually supports teams and individuals in a coaching practice. Originally from Poland, now living in France. She's a really interesting lady with a lot of charisma and a lot of really good feeling to give to all of you today. Thank you so much for joining us, Katarzyna. Lovely to have you.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really feel it's the huge privilege, and I'm really happy to be here and to share my personal experience, my truth, and my wisdom. So I'm really excited. And yeah, hello everybody.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your biggest breakthrough in life. What would you say was the most challenging thing for you, or one of the most challenging that you would be comfortable to share, that happened to you in your life, and what did you learn from it?
That's a very good question, and actually it's touching my situation now. So maybe I would start from, I was already born as a very, very sensitive child with, it's called sixth sense. So I could sense more. I could feel directly who's telling the truth, who's not telling the truth. So bringing my parents a lot of difficulties, saying like, Mom, why are you saying something different you're thinking? You know, so it's in front of the people. I couldn't understand that. And I could hear the angels. And I have a lot of like my imagination, like we say, I was very the kid with a lot of imagination. And my parents like can't hold it. Nobody teach them how to hold the child with so much sensibility and really like opening to the different words. So with time, I just put it back and I get to the normal business life, making my studying, getting my master's degree at Sorbonne and starting working in a consulting company and getting to all this like business thing. But of course, your natural, I call it now my inner power, call me back somehow, and I could feel it slowly, and it started with I have 3 boys. I'm mother of 3 boys. So with the giving a birth of my 3rd boy, which I decided to do it really natural way, and it was really magic. And I think that was the first crack. I started to feel woman power in me. And even before, like I really wanted to have a daughter. So when we decided with my husband to try to have 3rd child, I really want to be ready to take if it's the 3rd boy. And I was afraid I won't be able because of my desire. So that was the first moment when I get to a little bit to spirituality, and I get the book How to Connect with the Soul of Your Child, even before being pregnant. That was first experience of like connecting with the soul of my child. And I really did. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I could feel this soul. And I remember selling if you want to be a boy, that's fine. So slowly and slowly, like I can really dive to the spirituality, and I get connected again to my angels, and I could feel a lot of messages coming to me during my coaching work, mediation. I could just know what's going on in the field right away, feeling the energies and using in everyday work. So last few months I was doing mediation in a French company with 4 owners, and did really well because I just knew what's going on. I just knew it. Like I didn't get the information from conscious reality, but I just knew it. I get the messages. Somehow I could really connect with something bigger than me and ask for help. Like I really want to understand what's going on here. I really want to bring some solution to this company, but it's such complex and big. But it was always hidden. So now I'm getting to you ask for the like biggest crack. It's coming right now. It's the first time I talk about it in public. I always hide it. It was still, even though I use it for I will be 3 years now, I never ever be ready to talk about it because I feel like, oh my gosh, they will think I'm crazy. How I can bring it to the world? How I can say like, I have really easy connection to something bigger. I didn't know what it is. Like how I can name it. And actually what's happened, I went to Poland last week for the Akashic Records seminar. And that's the method to connect it to, and we can call it super consciousness, we can call it whatever we want, but it's to be really connected with this field, like really intelligent field, which get all the information about ourselves and about the other people. Because of course, it's not magic. Now, scientific proof, and it's everything, it's proven that the field around us is intelligent. All our emotions, thoughts, intentions has special kind of vibration, and it's stay in the words. And of course, time, it doesn't really exist. It's so easy to go through to our childhood, and when we get connected to our childhood, we still have emotion as we had 5 years old. So time, it's not really existing. It means that today we can get connected to all the information, all the emotions, all the thoughts we have for whole our lives and even lives before. So we can heal ourselves. So we can really take out from us, from our unconscious, all the belief system, all the programs which are blocking us to get fully to our power, to our wisdom, to really live this way, like completely fully. And this is what I'm doing with myself, my clients, and it's just magical. It's just amazing. We think that we need to spend years to work on our personal development. It's not true. We can do it really quickly now. So I'm really excited about what I discover. It's like, it's really amazing. And the last thing I want to share, and I think it's really important, is about how our unconscious mind works. Of course, all the programs, like 95% of our time, we act in conscious way. Just 5% of our time, it's conscious. We think that we really deal with what we are saying, with what we are doing, but most of the time, our unconscious is reacting. Our body is reacting in a conscious way. It's a lot of things going in an unconscious way. And we think it's so complicated to change the program. And I'm really happy, and I want to share that because I get this vision how the unconscious program work. I love purse, and I had like really long purse. And I had this vision that actually what's happened, like this purse, which is like maybe 200 small purse on it, that's it in conscious program. And we think from our mind that change our unconscious program, we need to take all this purse out. It's not true. You just take one and whole program is just throwing up. It's like you can imagine you just cut your necklace with the purse, and you take one, everything is taken. So that was so beautiful for me because I'm like, oh my gosh, that's going to take years to work all this unconscious program we have to change our lives. It's not true. It's much more easier than we think because that's our mind. It's very linear. We think that we need to do step by step. It's not true. Sometimes it's just click like this and everything is changing. This is what I'm experiencing now with my life, with my clients. And it's just awesome. And I just love it.
It's so beautiful. It reminds me of this phrase or idea that I've seen business coaches talk about called the pivot. They speak about how you to have a very successful business, let's say, in that context that they were teaching, sometimes your way of looking at what it is that you do or the way that you solve a problem is about finding the right pivot, is to be able to shift it just that little bit, where you don't have to dismantle the whole thing and start all over from the beginning. It's about positioning, taking the right specific look at the right specific area and making the adjustment in that small way. And it's lovely to hear your passion about it all. And you sound like someone who's discovered something really amazing.
Yes.
You make me want to come for a session, and I actually just might. So tell us about the young 8-year-old. You said she was in tune with her own intuition and sensing on a deeper level of reality. Knowing now what you know about the world, and that you've discovered what you've discovered, and maybe many other things about the world, the way the world is, what would you say to your 8-year-old little girl now that you know all these things about life that you know?
Yeah. What I really do believe is that the life we experience is just the mirror of our inner life or our inner worlds. So what I would really encourage women and men, but we women are for now more open to do the personal work. So maybe I will talk more for the women to really work on our inner words and really changing what is inside of us. I really check it. Like, I'm the person, maybe I will start from that. I'm the person who never trusts nobody, in the sense, like, if I hear, even on my process work studies, I'm a fast 2 student at Zurich, they say some tools or, some theory from Mindel. I'm like, I need to check it. That's me. And I accept it. I had a hard time to accept it, but that's me. I won't never trust nobody if I don't just check it on myself. I just need to do it. So every tool, every theory I heard for last 10 years of studying, I had to check on myself, on my relations, on my symptoms. I need to check it on myself. And I really do believe when they say, like, if you see something in the world that's disturbing you, it means it's something, this quality, probably you need very badly, but you have no access to it. So I always use what's happened to me outside to work on me. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this is something I cannot see, or somehow there is still some work to do, or why this person is like really disturbing me. How I can use this quality to make myself feel better. So I will really invite the woman to look for inner power. We all have our inner power. We all are different. And what I really do believe is that everybody has this special quality and inner power which world is really looking for. So don't try be like another person. Try find your truth, find your power, and bring it to the world. Nobody can do it for you. Like, you're the unique, special person with the special tools, with special power and special quality we need. That's the beauty of diversity in the world. So this is what I really like. Trust your path and go deeply to find what is you, how you feel, because this is what is the most powerful in the world.
Beautifully said, Katarzyna. And now when you look at that little girl, you would be encouraging her. Is there anything you would tell her about the world that you've realized that she didn't know about?
Actually, I use this experience now. As I said, I have 3 boys, age of 8, 6, and 3. And especially my oldest one, he's very sensitive and he can see the angels. So what I do exactly what I couldn't get from my parents. Like, oh, that's great. Or when sometimes he knows that I'm talking to angels. When he lost something, he's like, Mom, can you ask your angels where is my choice? I'm like, no, you do it. You know, I'm learning not to do the stuff for him. It's like, you can do it. It's exactly the same for everybody. And I think this is what is the most important in the world. There is no one special person. I'm not the special one to get this connection. We all have it.
Wow,
it's just we are not trained. We are not trained to do it.
They're having a mother that's encouraging you to make a spiritual connection that goes outside and beyond the traditional idea of what that is actually not that strange when I hear you speak about it. But it seems that the world thinks it's so strange, and it's so strange that we think it's so strange, when in fact it's such a natural connection that we come into the world with. Often it gets shut off or shut down, but also there is such a level of intelligence that most of us totally don't know about or don't ever experience even. And I think the fact that it gets shut down so easily, and you are just available to not plug it up for your son like that, is very inspiring to hear. I'm very moved by that. What does he do when you tell him go and find it yourself?
First, as a child, like, but you can go do it quicker, and like he's getting older now, so the connections became more challenging for him. It's not natural like before. So he told me, but you know, now I cannot hear them so well like before. I'm like, now you need to do the effort to hear them, but I cannot do your work. Like, it's your work and it's your choice. You want to do it or not, but if you want to do it now, you need to do some effort to be still connected with that, like really try to get calm and like really hear the inner voice. So first, of course, he's not happy, but then he's doing by himself, and then he came back like, thank you, mom, yeah, I get my thing, they told me it's there or there. He always find it. So it's really amazing. But what I really want to say is that we think that people who can hear the angels or the deep intuition, that they're special. We are not special. Like, everybody has it. That's really important. Like, everybody has it, and it's not something very magic, because I'm sure, like, if I ask any person on the world about one situation when he just know about it, something, we call it intuition. Everybody has it, and that's the state of mind I'm talking about.
Fantastic. I hear
it's
you.
Just happen. It's just happen. But then we are not trained, but if you train yourself, you can get to this state where the moment you want and whenever you want, because normally it's just happened to us. We feel like we don't have the control of it, that intuition comes and go. And what I did, I just trained my conscious, you know, like I did my training to be able to get to this special, like, super conscious mind to get the information I need. And this is just the training. Everybody can do it. It's nothing special. Believe me, everybody can do it, and everybody has it.
And we spoke about it
in our body.
Yeah, we spoke about it in different ways before we started the call, like that some people call this the unified field. We spoke about the law of physics. We spoke about it as quantum physics. We spoke about it as what some call the Akashic records. Really being able to tune into that place, the library where all information exists. And it does take some training. So when you speak about all these possibilities of being able to connect so well and know the higher truth, the deeper truth, the truth, or be able to see what is, whatever words we use for it, what do you think is the reason that women have struggled to reach that place in societies over time? Now, you're a process worker, so we've gone into lots of very important group discussions from, like, sometimes 52 countries represented in a room where we work on very specific issues. So when we look at sexism and gender inequality and the fact that some people have a struggle to know their value because of the whole political landscape, and we look at women in that plan, this next question is, what is the biggest lie that women believe, and how do they correct it? So they're not tuning in to this frequency of all knowing and all accepted value and power that we all have. Somehow there's been a disconnect, and I think listening to you speak about it and putting the question out to you like this is very interesting for me, because I'm starting to find my own answer in another way about why are we so disconnected from our spiritual legacy as priestesses and, you know, women of spiritual power in the past, that we don't somehow get reflected back so much. What would you say is the biggest lie, or the thing that makes us go unconscious and believe that we cannot do that connection easily as women?
I think that, but it's very human. I did it too. It's like we want others change, we want women, we want the men change, we want the world be different, we want to have the conditions outside be different so we can be ourselves. And I think that's the
interesting.
Yeah, and I think that if we go this direction, we cannot move, because then we put ourselves in a victim position.
Right. So
because we cannot change others.
Yeah,
but we can change.
Yeah. And not us.
But yeah, exactly. But what we can do, we can change ourselves. But somehow it's easier to say that, to find excuse which are like very reasonable excuse sometimes. I tell you the example, like my husband, he's French and he grew in a family that there is no belief in God. So he's not spiritual at all. He doesn't believe in these things at all. And actually that's really interesting, because when we met, now it'll be 14 years ago, I was so touched by his tolerance and openness, because I was at the time very Catholic, going to the church, and he told me like he doesn't believe it at all, but he never, ever, ever tried to change me. He's like, I really respect that's your religion, that's your way of thinking, that's good, but but it was so amazing. And like many years after, I'm much more spiritual now than religious. But what's happened, I get this lesson from him. And when I get to my spiritual path, I did my job. I was in this spiritual path without trying to convince him to be with me. I didn't need his permission to do what I feel I want to do. And that's really amazing. That's somehow power of tolerance. Like, I'm living my life and I don't need you to be with me to do my way. You know, because we always feel like, oh, we want the others to be with us, otherwise we cannot do it. It's not true. And funny thing is, when I really did my things, and I know he doesn't believe in that stuff, but I share with him. If he's asking, I'm sharing what I did on my seminar. And so it's really funny, because after like 3 years now, when I'm really deep in a spiritual path, sometimes, we had the problem with the car, and he's like, oh my gosh, I hope it's not serious. Can you talk to your angels? Maybe they can do something about it. I'm like, what? You don't believe the angels? Why are you asking me to talk to them? So I take it as the joke, but I can see that what I'm living and the way I am influencing him, but I never try to pull him to my side, because I respect his path, his life. And I'm like, okay, the best thing I can do, it's like I can be the change I want to see in the world. So then the vibration change, and if you will see me different, and when he was like, oh my gosh, she's really changing, it's inspiring me, I want to experience the same, he will join me. And I think that's the really important thing. All of us, and I repeat to myself too, because it's so easy to get to the old, path. Like we want to change everything around. We need to start with us. And then world will change. Like Gandhi said that, and I love this sentence, be the change you want to see in the world. So I will invite all the women, be happy, feel free, go to your path, be the life you want to be, and inspire other women, and that's going to change the world. Start with you. Be happy with your life.
Yeah. Make your life what you want it, and not
yes.
the other to change. So it's sort of looking more at your own inner access to happiness, and not waiting for it to come from outside. So what would you say about all these movements that are working with women nowadays, all these organizations, associations? What would you add to all of that, if anything? How do you feel about it all going on in the world now?
I think that's another thing I can feel really deeply. You know, a little bit the process work approach, and I love it a lot. But somehow, personally, it's 10 years I've been really diving in the process work. I feel tired with like processing all the pain, processing all the conflicts, and the processing the polarization all the time. And what I really feel deeply in myself is that love is the solution. I know it's very difficult to bring it, to live it, to share it, to forgive sometimes, but we need to stop it. Otherwise, it's turning and turning and turning around. So what I would love to say to the woman, of course, we don't have equal position in the world concerning to the job and a lot of things. But then please look at the men in a little bit different way. They have the rank and privileges, like social rank and privileges, but on the emotional level, they have a really low rank. Nobody teaches them how to deal with their emotions. And I think that's the big work for the moms. If there are the moms listening to me, please don't tell your boys, don't cry. Don't tell your boys like, oh, you're the big man, you know, you will do it. Don't let your emotion get over it. They are still human beings like us. So what we need to see is to see our, I would say, high rank, our power. Like we are more aware about our emotions. We have bigger intuition than men. We are, like easily getting connected with this intelligent field, God, however you call it. Bring this wisdom to the world. Men needs helps too. We are in a completely different situation, but they need really help too. And what I really do believe, like if we help men to feel their inner power too, there will be no physical abuse in the world. Because what's happened with the men abusing the woman is because they need to feel this power outside, because inside is the big hole of the inner power. So it's still like, of course, we always feel ourselves in a victim position, but we don't see that on the other side, that's the victims too. So men are the victims too. The word for them, it's not easy either, but they're just living the different challenges. So what I really, and that's my big, big, big dream, is that we stop fighting and just giving the hands like, okay, let's do it together. Like, let's help each other to grow together, because women and men has the different qualities, different wisdoms, and when we put it together, it's like yin yang, you know, like we really need to be together to change the world. So that's my invitation. I really do believe that we are able to do it.
What are you most passionate about in your life now, Katarzyna? And sharing with the world your deep knowing that you've always had and how comfortable you are with it now. Your great guidance that you share with us about really standing together with them and knowing that we are not victims, to be able to find our own power within, not having others change us, are all these great pearls of wisdom, literally, from your beautiful philosopher. And as a kind of closing thought, what is your real focus right now for the work that you do? What can we follow or look into if we follow you?
Inner power. I really do believe that all the problems we have now in the world, especially what's happening in the politics too, it's just because people don't feel their power. So we somehow in an unconscious way give out of our power. Somebody needs to take it. That's why it had such a difficult political system too, a situation too. So what I really do believe, if we work our inner power and we take the power, the situation in the world change too. And with my inner power, I get to touch with, so with my sixth sense and connection with the intelligence field, I'm very passionate now about using the information I'm able to get to find in my life and my life of my clients all the programs and blockages in our unconscious mind that not allowed us to fully using our potential. Because I really do believe that's the only thing we need in the world. And then when we are connected with our inner power and truth, that we can change the world. So that's my big love now. I feel like it's like, and it's so amazing. Like I feel so touched when I feel how my clients change the moment, like they really get connected. Okay, now I can feel it. I feel able to do this. Okay, now I feel my worth. Okay, now I see my potential. Oh my gosh, now I feel ready to do the stuff. And this is all so beautiful because all our life is about that. Being happy in this world, using our potential to make the world be better. So I think that will be that. Yeah.
So, beautiful to hear you speak, because I can hear what you were sharing as well before, where you say it's so much about being able to find it inside. Doesn't matter what you call it.
Yeah.
What matters is that you feel it, that you feel this higher power and this experience of presence in your life, and that we bring, I think you said, the knowing of the heavenly realm onto earth. We do this every single day, that we are interacting with our super consciousness in a very practical way every single day. What 3 words can you give us to close today's interview that are reminders of everything that we've said according to the world of Katarzyna?
Inner power, love, and diversity.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. You gave us such a beautiful injection of this power.
Thank you.
I look forward to collaborating, doing great work together, supporting what you do in whatever way possible. And let's just give people a straight reminder that you are out there and that you are really able to do very specific deep process with companies and individuals, but also specifically really able to tune into what are the aspects of the blockages that you can see and remove immediately, so that this person can feel their inner power. Thanks so much, because
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.